Want to find out how this half of the month is panning out for your zodiac sign and how to get the best out of it? Come and join Yildiz Readings 5D and we'll have a look. A very warm welcome to Yildiz Readings 5D. For those of you that don't know, I'm a psychic medium. I cover astrology, soul coaching, twin flame path and more. I am live weekly, so please click the bell and subscribe. And if you do want more creative content like this, come and join the tribe. Now for the join button, the link is directly below on the main page. You do get exclusive Your Eyes Only content, twin flame coaching, pro-release content and the extension reads. Without further ado, let's get into the video and I'll see you every Friday. Take care guys. Leo, we are here to do your astrology. Yes, I got the funky hair, so forgive me. I got the Leo mane happening. They always have the most beautiful hair, male or female. So in dedication to you, Leo, I don't know if this looks beautiful though, so critique me if you will. Okay, so how this reading is going to go is I am a psychic medium and I do cover astrology. So to get into a conversational piece, I'm doing both. We are going to talk a little bit about the transits, how you can be relating to circumstances, and this video is going to prepare you for June as well. Because I see some transits and we need to be aware of these things. I have pulled the cards ahead of time. Now, number one, we are going to be having the Sun in Gemini. We're going to be having Venus in Gemini. And we're having Mercury in Gemini going into retrograde. So already there's tedious energies coming up. You're going to find things are going to be coming at you. You're going to have to keep your cool. And it's a really good time at the moment to get your cloud hair there. See, Mercury. Get your house cleared. So what do I mean by that? Obviously, during Mercury retrograde, we can become very busy. And it can be a point in our lives that crosswires can occur. So at the moment, having Mars in Cancer, I am noticing a trend at the moment, and it is almost getting home in order. Getting home in order and to be prepared for the transits, it can be a little bit more busy. So if you're simplifying things at home, you're going to find it's going to flow a little bit better than had you not. Especially if you find you're studying, you're working, or doing anything to that degree, it's really getting it to a very practical level, because as Saturn retrogrades in the house of Aquarius, we may be looking at whose duty is what, and we could be getting a little bit cross if we are biting off a little bit more than we can chew. Now, I'm going to look at your chart. Okay, so I have done a separate video, which I will link inside the box. Otherwise, if I haven't done it yet, because I'm recording these separately, it is a video based on the current astrology at the end of May, and it does talk about the eclipse and moving into June. It's a conversation piece, and if I feel I need to do an update, I will. But we're also having the eclipse webinar online. So if you do want to come and join us for that, there's a limited space availability. So it's approximately 40, and it is going to be via Skype. You can purchase it through the website. So if you want to do that and you want some support during the eclipse, feel free to come through and come and join us. Now, I'm looking at your chart. Where are we at? Okay. Now, we are having Mars next month move into Leo, so you will find you will feel a lot more energetic. But you will be actually, you will be super busy. It's more towards the end of the transit with Mars and Leo that you can get a little bit frizzled. So you're going to be hot and popular demand. You're going to have a lot more vitality and energy. But you do need to be wary of inflammation and not biting off more than you can chew. You can get burnout, but at the moment it's in the house of Cancer. So that is hitting your 12th house. Family, children, errands, duties, lineage can be coming up. And you can be looking at your psychology surrounding it. Some of it might be driving you a little bit crazy, as I said, if people aren't doing what they need to do. So you may have some revelations in a belief system to do with how you felt and how you were raised versus how others around you are reacting to circumstances. But you could really be reflecting a lot about your childhood, a lot to do with your beliefs and your values. But it can be, it's the house of hidden enemies, the 12th house. But currently, because Mars is in that domain, you might be battling to keep your cool. You almost might be feeling, hey, why am I reacting to things this way? Why am I going quiet? Guilt relating to, can I be, and this can be for males or females, can I be a parent? I have to be over here. Am I doing enough? So yes, it can be a point of great revelations and healing. I do feel a lot of you are going to be shifting things about to get to a more balanced state. But again, just be really gentle with yourself. Balance the yellow chakra And not necessarily is our childhood going to be the same as others, and not necessarily do we have the best childhood. But even when it comes to your creative projects, you may be having to utilize your crown chakra quite a bit, your thoughts. So try and have faith in yourself. It can be a point where you think some of your creative projects won't come about. And it's in its innocent state at this point. So again, don't expect too much right away. It's the bigger picture. But also refer to yourself, especially if you've formed a bit of a habit of, and we can do this, it's like, what will lineage think if I do X, Y, and Z? It's like we're stepping away from that and we're moving into the challenges of our own personal lives in a very unique way. So we're going to take a little bit of the old and a little bit of the new, and we're going into the unknown, which can feel a little bit anxious. So yes, the 12th house is playing out. It is going to ease up. It's the end part of the cycle can be driving you absolutely crazy. So just have a lot of patience with yourself. Your nervous system needs supporting through, and again, this isn't from a medical point of view, this is from an astrological point of view. Your auric field will need protecting. Eating food groups from an astrological point of view, that can support your nervous system, especially as we move into next month with all these retrogrades, really needing to eat things that support that area. I'm not saying go on a diet. I'm saying just be mindful that that's going to support it during this transit. So anything that's going to support the nervous system. I do feel from your chart at the moment, your health, you're looking at your health and you're trying, there's a lot of burdens. 6th house, again, is the house of hidden enemies. It's also, am I doing too much? It's that level up at work. It's getting those things done. It's looking at your health. How are things affecting your health? So it can be diet, nutrition, it may be your schedule and how to balance it, but it's also healthy boundaries. And again, this can be with family members, it can be with self, you're having to do too much. So, you may be feeling that you have to be quite firm with people in your life, and it may feel unnatural, but it is for the bigger picture of things, for your future to come. So if you're having to put your foot down and there is frustrations there, it could be because people aren't respecting that boundary. It is a great house for development, but you're assessing it. And again, with it being very 8th house placement falling in 6th house, you may be looking at how you were raised and what you need to do. You can be looking at your, it could be co-parenting, or it may be how do you get that quality system in order? Can you depend on certain things that you're doing? So it is a shift about of things, but it is going to be a time of deep reflection to get things back in order. With the eclipse in Sagittarius, let's have a look at that. Oh boy. Okay, this can be a time where things can be changing with your work. Things can be it could be that you have been studying and you're moving to the next level, and it's going to be really important to tie these things up. So if you have anything that you need to do, you have between now and the 26th to close that cycle out. And not necessarily are we always on the money with the closing of a cycle. The eclipse is a super energy, a super moon. So there's really going to be a lot to close out. You can look back to May last year and see some sense of themes that were playing out then. They could be replaying out now, but it's also looking at things from where you were back then to now. It could be extremely different. Now, this could be linking to children. It could be linking to co-parenting, studying, long distance travel. But again, being that it's in your 5th house, this could also be to do with your children, your family, and what happened in the past and where you are now. And I do feel from a growth point of view, if you have been working on creative projects, you may find that it's the effort that you put in, you haven't yet seen the benefits, but it can be with this new course over the next 6 to 12 months, you do see the direct growth. This can be money coming in from your creative projects and blessings coming from all the hard work that you put in it. So not necessarily is this eclipse a bad one. But we will see in the media and the collective disputes, conflict, trade, travel, changes. But you're looking at your life with your family, if you have family. And you're also looking at any creative hobbies, pastimes. You're trying to make things happen. You're being a mover shaker. So good on you, Leo. I'm proud of you. Now, the big area at the moment, and it was so funny because when I pulled your cards, I was like, okay, interesting. And I was like, I just kept hearing relationship. Now, relationships, being that at the moment we have Venus and Gemini, we have, and that can be our food, our friendship groups. Venus is a lot of things. It's the relationships we have. It is also the food we like, how we decorate, our friendship groups, our relationships, our love interests, our partners. It's Venus, okay? The way we see ourselves as well, in a beauty way, okay? With it being in the house of Gemini, it is very independent. And you generally, as a zodiac sign, are extremely independent. You may want to socialize a lot. You may have way too much on your plate. You also have in your relationship sector, the house, you've got Aquarius, and Saturn's retrograding in the house of Aquarius. And again, I did mention at the beginning of the video that you may have a circumstance playing it. And I might have already started, to be quite honest, because we're already getting the shadow. Look back to January, February. We had, let me check the date. The first Mercury retrograde we had was January the 30th, and I was like, oh, the writing's on the wall. Now, January 30th, it was in the house of Aquarius. Now, Saturn and Jupiter were then in the house of Aquarius. What I noticed during that transit was it's group energy. The people, the social responsibilities we have, whose job is what. Now, being that it lands in your relationship sector, the people around you, the things that you like, the things that you're trying to build, you may be looking at that and assessing it. And similar themes to that time with Mercury retrograde could be replaying out now, but you could be directly addressing it through this transit. You may be saying to people, you need to do X, Y, and Z. This is not my job. This is my job. And really with the sixth house, it's going to benefit and aid you to do that. So if you're working in a business, you will be reassessing maybe what the roles are in the position, maybe how you can restructure your schedule, maybe in your romantic life, looking at the give and take and connections, and is it there? So it's going to be a time of great healing. It's very Chiron, okay? So your crowning energy is heart chakra. This is the Chiron is actually Virgo. So in a chakra system and astrology, Chiron, the wounded healer, can relate to Virgo. And I don't know why, it's almost like you got throat chakra coming up. You got things to say. So from the higher heart chakra, it's Virgo. The heart chakra is Leo, but it's also third eye. So you are trying to gain perspective in all areas. You're trying to heal things. You're trying to balance things, but you know it can't be done alone. It takes two to tango. So you're stepping back and you're looking at, it's almost like a spiritual test in some domains of your life. How far has it come? Do I need to shift things about? Do we need to talk about these hard aspects? And again, with Mercury retrograde in Gemini, it can be, what have you done for me lately? Are we going out? Are we not doing what we need to be? And it's very social, but it's also a high level of responsibilities, needing to be the jack of all trades, needing to do so many things. So we can't be everything for everyone. Again, conditioning, I'm telling you. So you have the compassion coming through love we give. But it doesn't mean to say in the 7 languages of love that necessarily they understand that. So you are having a lot of healing, but I do feel between now and June, it can be a huge turning point for you. You'll be very, very assertive. Even if betrayals and lack of commitment was there in the past, you may be looking back to that and knowing that, yes, it does take two to tango. So very much in your work sense, where you've adjusted, where you're going, it may be in your work life, you looked at it and thought, look, I'm really cheating myself here. I don't feel this resonates with me. I'm coming over here. Which for some Leos, you guys are really great managers. You do tend to get a lot of jealousy when it does come to co-workers. So you tend to be great at running your own business. So unique that this has come up in a Virgo sense, because Virgos are great for management, analytics, but not necessarily handing that chore over to someone, which they're developing at the moment. It's the devil in the detail. That's what I'm hearing. So the devil in the detail relating to both your love life, your career sector, study, and anything you're doing to progress your life forward. You're fine tuning it, but you could get some frustration there with all the elements of Gemini coming through. And although we are having the eclipse in Sagittarius, I'm seeing a lot of subject matters already playing out because the shadow sign of Sagittarius is Gemini, sorry. So yes, we're going to have both playing out simultaneously at both eclipses. Let's have a look back at your chart. Okay, at the moment, you could be looking at deeper intimacy. Now, you really do require in your life, you're looking at the long-term situation, okay? In all your projects, because we have Jupiter and Pisces currently, I think it's about for 5 months, don't quote me, I'll check back on the date later, but at the moment it's there. What we need to understand is with Jupiter and Pisces, we're getting a little bird's eye view to do with 2022. So themes that play out in your mind, if you don't think your life is where it is, or you're having this destiny come through in a dream sense and you want to make it happen, you're looking at the bigger picture, how you can structure your life. It could be, I need to go to work, I need daycare. It's the house of healthy codependency. It's the house of, in order to make this grow, and they will come, it has give and take, 8th house placement, healthy codependency. I want you, I don't need you. I need you, but there's a give and take for both parties. Daycare, i.e. House insurance, i.e. I give you something, I have something. In a relationship, it's deeper intimacy. Building trust, healing that process. So having it there, you're looking at whether that's a possibility. And during this time, you may find you're looking at it and you understand what you need in all connections. I do feel it's beautiful where, yes, it can be that you may be looking at life and looking at tax and looking at, the things that have been very taxing in your life, what you want to shift around. 8th house can be tax, debt, inheritances. It can be you spiritually connecting in with your guides. If you do want me to connect in with them, you're most welcome to book a psychic reading. Or come through and join the super chats, and I'll always answer any question, even if it's not relating to the video subject matter. And that's at the end of all videos. Live Friday, Western Australian time, and I'm going to start putting notifications up 1 to 2 days ahead of time, so you get your notification, it comes through to your feed. What else can I say? Okay, so the beautiful thing is the eclipse, the lunar eclipse is happening in your 5th house. I do see a lot of finances coming through to you between now and next month, due to the fact that the eclipse in Gemini is going to be in your 11th house. At the moment, you may have a lot of things you're doing to better your life moving forward. Your friends may want to be seeing you during this month. You're going to have to be extremely organized, but try not to set anything in stone, because with Mercury going retrograde in Gemini, you're going to have a lot on your plate. So you're better off to do it on a drop of a hat and gauge where you're at on that day, then set something in stone and go, yeah, no drama, okay? If you are having interactions and you're building the dream, okay, you will find that the 11th house can bring great transformations in your finance. So you will find between after the eclipse and moving into the following month that you can have expansions in that domain, especially because it's going to be a new moon. But I do feel you will be, I'm seeing a circus clown, and it feels like you're juggling a lot. You've got a lot coming up. You may get cross. So bear that in mind. Any other area before I go into the card reading? Let's have a quick look. Okay, next month we're having Uranus and Taurus squaring Saturn in Aquarius. Now look back again to, what's the date? February 17th we had the first one. There was a lot in the media that was coming up to do with agriculture. We had weather pattern shifts. Always in our eclipses you can have weather pattern shifts. Taurus can relate to land and agriculture. Again, in your own chart, it's more connecting into your career sector. You may be doing a lot of energy there, and it can be sudden change. This could be you're not working, suddenly you are. Something in that industry shifts, you need to go back and change something. But it's also, you could be really questioning the industry you're going into, but just remember what's happening in the collective isn't necessarily changing. People's value systems are changing, and so is society. But from a 10th house placement, you could be getting some anxiousness to do with that, and there could be some sense of confusion, but a sudden change in that domain. The way you do your job, the way you're working, the money that comes in. You could have money that's owed to you suddenly coming towards you. But you do tend to get with Uranus and Taurus, it's Forrest Gump. It's a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're going to get. It's a reversal of fortunes. It's a change. It's a shake-up. So be prepared for that. That will be happening. What's the date? June 14th. We're having the square again. So be prepared for that. I would say, have a healthy amount of food in your house. Agriculture, food chain, eclipse in Sagittarius, transportation. Because there could be a little bit of issues there, but not for a long time. It's more learning how to be flexible with these changes, moving within the industry that you're currently working in or looking at, but knowing this isn't staying the same forever. It's creating a resilience inside of us, but there can be changes happening surrounding your career like that. But it won't be long-lived, and you will bounce back and you'll be really grateful after however it is. This could be a windfall of money coming in, landing a great job, things changing surrounding that industry, and you really spiritually feeling the hunches, and I feel most of you on the ball with it. Now, number one, I'll get into your read, and then we will go into the aspects, which I'll explain through each aspect, what can happen. And if you do want to look at the video relating to the astrology, it's a very separate video. Okay, so where you felt you cheated yourself in the past, I feel you've learned from that. I feel you're looking at the writing on the wall, and you're understanding that there needs to be healing in those domains. So you're willing to work with people, providing they're willing to work with you. But you may have had a lot of shadow work that you've had to deal with to get to where you are. You may not really, you may be not really feeling loved. You may not really be feeling as though, and I feel this is you, I do not feel this is your romantic interest or your contract. I'm going to talk about it in both senses because there are big areas there. You may be frustrated that people aren't doing what they need to do. You may be frustrated that, you may just want that detachment at this point. And at the moment with Juno retrograde in Sagittarius, that can be affecting your connections with your kids, with your, you may just be finding nobody's working with you. But it's showing a shadow energy of you. And if this is in your career sector, you may be thinking, I need to get out of this because due to what's happening on the collective, I don't think this industry will survive. And that can be one domain. It may be a fair, or you just may not be very connected to your current industry, or feel something's changing and you need to shift about. You may be multitasking and doing two things. This can be study, and work for some of you. And we are, with the nodes in Gemini, actually students, all of us collectively this year. We're learning a lot. We're looking at our values, but you may be second guessing yourself. You will know what you want to commit to, but I would wait till after the eclipse. I do feel during that and moving through, things can feel a little bit confusing, especially with Venus and Gemini. With everything you have on your plate, if people aren't working with you, you're feeling as though I'm not really attracted to this unless people start working with me. Okay, something is happening to shift this. This can be, and I'm going to pull one more card because I do feel the art of communication is the key. It's like actions and words match, but it's also maybe having to take a hard approach to get out of our head and to address the elephant in the room. But there may be some truths that come up, some wounds that come up for you to say, look, I can't see the hay for the clouds. If X, Y, and Z doesn't transform, I need some reciprocity. Please work with me. Now we're going to get into your read for the astrology. And at the end of this video, I do have a little video that shows you how to join the Members Hub. I do coach Twin Flames. I'm there twice a month in there, and I'm starting to do individual posts that are psychic downloads. We also have the second tier level that is pre-release content of all content I do. And then we've got the third tier, which is the psychic energies, which as the months progress, there will be one, pretty much every week. But you pretty much do get weekly videos from Yildiz Readings 5D. So In that top tier level, being that they're psychic, you're able to look at sun, moon, rising, and Venus house. So that's twice a month so far in its building, and that's the top tier level. So there's going to be an information video at the end of this. It will show you where the join button is, but it's also going to show you how to find the website for a psychic booking if you need it. Let's get into the next part of the read. Okay, let's have a look at the astrological must-knows. Number one, as I mentioned, we are having the full moon lunar eclipse in Sagittarius at 5 degrees on the 26th of May, 2021. Now, yes, as I mentioned, we are having the webinar on the website, which the information at the end of this video will be there if you want that added support. We do have guided meditation, tarot readings, and more. The sun enters Gemini the 20th of May, so third eye can be quite activated. Do expect to have a lot coming at you. You will have the energy and be trying to tackle these things, but it could cause a lot of headaches. And you may find that with Mercury retrograde from the 29th of May through to June the 22nd, you may find yet again confusion can come. Mars has been in Cancer from April 23rd until June the 11th, which we will be glad to see that shift, and it will be moving into the House of Leo next month. Now with Venus entering Gemini, which it did from the 9th of May, you may find that you do have a lot on your plate when it does come to your finances, when it does come to your social experiences, and you may have a lot of thoughts going through your mind. You may be looking at your day-to-day routine and what is going on in the forward movement of that. You also may feel fiercely independent and not want to be held down. This too shall pass, it's temporary. But this can be times when, with both Mercury moving into retrograde and Venus entering Gemini, well, which it was from the 9th, we will have communication from the past. Now, I'm also seeing with Saturn and Aquarius retrograding from the 23rd of May all the way through till October the 11th, you may be looking at circumstances surrounding group activities, but also social responsibilities. Now, next month we do have the solar eclipse in Gemini on the 10th of June, so do be prepared for that, as well as it is the North Node, so it will be amplified. We also have Saturn in Aquarius, as I mentioned, squaring Uranus and Taurus, which is occurring on the 14th, so pre-warned, forearmed. Now, if you want to join us for the webinar, the video up next shows you two things. It shows you where you can book private readings, how to get onto the website, and also how to join the Members Hub. So stay tuned for the update. Thanks for joining us here at Yildiz Readings 5D. If you do want a personal booking, you can go to the link below. A lot of people ask me how to join the members area, so there is an information video up next after this. Yes, astrology updates, twin flame path, super chats every Friday. So please click the bell and subscribe. We cap them at $11 because the first tier level for the members for twin flame coaching is $11. So those of you who want to join the Members Hub, here is a small video relating to it. Now in this video, it's going to show you basically where you can locate it. You can find it in the information box in any video that is uploaded to YouTube. It's on the join section. On the main page, you can find it. When you go to the membership zone and you purchase the first tier level, you get the twin flame videos. Now they are still up there. You find them under the community tab, and that's for the pre-extended videos, and the extension reads members only. Now for the website, this is how the website looks on the main page, and should you need to go to it, you can press the link that does take you to the booking page. We have webinars, we have Skype, videos, and more. If you do want any of these, you have the information. I will see you during the month. Take very good care of yourselves, and I trust you like the content.